safe candle etiquette. Anyways, so a while ago I made a video, I think it's just 50 facts about me, something like that, and I got a lot of questions on it from one specific person. No big deal, I'm not calling you out or anything, but I'm just like making an old-fashioned response video to that. I thought it would be relaxing, and some of the questions are interesting, and I thought maybe other people would want to know the answer. There's quite a lot, so if I don't get to all of them, my apologies, okay? Also, I don't know how to say your name because it's in like Russian alphabet, and I just don't speak it. I'm so sorry, my ignorance, I know, but yeah, I'm just gonna grab my laptop so I can read the comments, and I'm just gonna respond to a lot of the questions on there. Okay, I just thought it'd be fun, like super chill video. We can light a candle, we can just relax. I did have a Red Bull, so I am a little bit chatty, which is a good mix when I have to answer questions. So, okay, I got my computer, let's just find the questions. The first question asked what year I was born in. 1996. I'm gonna go through some of these a little quickly, just because, like, you know, that's how it is. The next question says, how many siblings does Regan have? They're all like written like that, which I think is very cute. So I have two biological sisters, my twin sister, a biological brother, two stepbrothers, and two stepsisters. So that's 4. I have 8 siblings in total. Yes, I'm like trying to count them out. So I have 8 siblings. The next question is, who is the tallest in my family? My stepdad is the tallest. He's like 6'1". But other than him, I guess my brother. The next question says, what is the difference between polythelia and polymastia? Great question. I have no idea. Okay. The next question is, can lactose be found in non-dairy products? Yes, it can. It's actually used to coat a lot of flavoring onto other foods, especially like chips, that kind of thing, because it's a sugar. So it's in a lot of that kind of things. And it's not in every single milk product, and because, like, for yogurt for example, and cheese, the like bacteria and aging process can break down a lot of the lactose, so there's not a high concentrate of it. So a lot of people that are lactose intolerant can consume like yogurt and cheese and stuff. Okay. The next question was in regards to Rich the Kid, but it says, was the rich guy alone? So if you didn't see that video, basically I one time met Rich the Kid at my job, and no one knew who he was. But anyways, he wasn't alone. He was with a woman who I presume was a girlfriend or someone along those lines. I don't know, and I don't remember like what she looked like or anything. But he was not in a lingerie store alone. So yeah. The next question it says, what was wrong with the Eiffel Tower? So again, in my fact video, I said that I was at the Eiffel Tower during a bomb threat. So there was a threat of a bomb, I guess. There wasn't actually anything wrong. It was just probably someone looking for attention, you know, that kind of thing. So nothing was actually wrong. It was just a precaution, I guess. The next question is, what are it's so adorable. It's just like weird for me to read them because they're about me, but they're in like the third person. So I basically just don't eat certain food because I'm very picky when it comes to textures. I don't like certain textures. Basically, yeah, I just don't like textures. That's, yeah, and I'm just picky. That's all I've got. The next question says, are Regan's parents still living together? My mom and my dad have been divorced since I was like 3, so they've been divorced longer than they were ever together. And they're both happily in different relationships, and their relationship with each other is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like amazing, but it definitely could be way worse. So no, my parents don't live together, and I don't actually remember a time in my like cognitive memory of them living together. Like, that's just a strange thought to me. So this next one is really cute. It says, what place did Regan take in the penny guessing competition? So the fact that I shared about this was that I got second place in a penny guessing competition. So basically it was like, you know, when you put like jelly beans in a jar and you like have to guess how many they are. It was like that, but with pennies. And I was in the 1st grade. And so I got second. I guessed the second closest number, basically. So my greatest accomplishment, I actually just found the little certificate the other day. I don't remember where I put it, but it's somewhere around. It is laminated, if you're wondering. So it would make a good sound. If I had it, it would make a good sound. So I got second. And I remember that I put in my guess, and my teacher made me go back and change it because someone had taken my first guess. So fun things have a funny way of working out, and I don't remember what I won, but like the prize didn't matter. It was just the ego boost for me. This is really funny. They asked what parts of a chicken I don't like to eat. I don't remember sharing the fact that I only like to eat like white meat on the chicken. Like, I don't like dark meat. I don't remember sharing that fact or ever mentioning that on the internet. But I prefer chicken, like a breast, over any other part of a chicken. And I actually only eat meat that is ethically sourced. Like, I know, like, I'll buy it from a farmer, that kind of deal. Unless I'm at a restaurant, then that's usually a different story. I'm not like overly die hard with that kind of thing, but I try to ethically source my meat, I guess. Yeah. The next question is asking who I consider my hero. And my answer to this is so lame, and it's so cliche. My hero's my mom. I feel like everybody says that, but yeah, mine's my mom. For a lot of reasons. I don't know, she just is one of the greatest people I've ever met. I respect her on a lot of levels. We didn't have necessarily the best relationship when I was a teenager, but I was a teenager and I didn't understand everything that was going on in life. But now I just really respect her and like the choices she made when she made them and that kind of thing. So my hero is my mom, and I also really appreciate the fact that she's just never needed anyone when she needed to, and I really respected that. So the next question says, where does Regan prefer to live? This is a really interesting question, because I've lived in a town, and I've lived in a city, and I've lived in the country, basically. I think I like both of them for different reasons. I don't think I've never lived in like a metropolis. Like, I've never lived in like a million people city, because there's a million people that live in my whole province. So yeah, I prefer a little bit of a slower environment. But for me, it's not necessarily the location that matters. It's like the people and like your family and your home. That's more important to me. So the next question wants to know what musical instruments I can play. I can play the piano, the saxophone, the ukulele, and the recorder. I'm best at piano. I can't play the Pirates of the Caribbean song, like the dun 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 dun. I can play that on the saxophone, but it doesn't sound good without the rest of a band. I'll be the first to admit. The next question just wants to know what discipline I have my degree in, and it is political studies. I feel like I talk about it a little too much, but I have an expensive piece of paper with my name on it, so I feel like I should speak on it, you know? The next question says, why does Regan have a crooked smile? Y'all, I remember when I got this comment a couple days ago, I was offended. Okay, because I know that I have Tom Cruise teeth. I know that. But I pretend like it's not true, and I would like every single person in my life never to bring it to my attention. So, and like, this is just an observation that someone made, because I don't talk about it. I pretend like it never happened. So basically, I guess my only explanation is, when I had my braces on, my orthodontist, he told me that my teeth are in the middle of my head, but they're not in the middle of my mouth. So they're just slightly this way. You've probably noticed, because it's definitely much more noticeable when I'm on camera and like recording, because people in my everyday life that just see me in person and like don't watch me on a video or anything, they don't notice, and they only notice when I bring it up. But it's much easier to be able to tell on camera, and I don't know what that's about. But yes, I do have Tom Cruise teeth, and it's just the way that my orthodontist put my teeth. He told me no one would notice, and that it would be fine, and I'm the only one that would ever notice, and I would notice because he told me, and now that I knew, I would know. But now apparently others are noticing. So just, yeah, I don't want to don't bring it up, because I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, that's it. The next question says, what is my favorite time of year? I like spring and fall. Winter and summer are just too polar for me, you know? It's either way too cold or way too hot, but I do prefer summer sometimes over winter. I'll admit that winter is much more stable. Like, you wake up every day and you know you're gonna put pants on and a sweater because it's gonna be cold. But summer is just so much harder and so much crazier, and you never know what you're gonna do, and you can't wear makeup every day. I know that's such a like menial thing, but yeah, you're not necessarily just gonna get up, put your pants on and your sweater and put makeup on and take a shower, you know? Because summer, there's just so many more other things to do. I don't know, maybe it's not like that when you live in a place where it's always warm, says, why don't you like when people crack their knuckles? Because it's disgusting and it sounds gross and you're gonna get arthritis. And it's just bad. It's not the right thing to do. It's disgusting. Don't do it near me. Get it away from me. Please be kinder to your body. The next question says, do you have any other YouTube channels? I do. I did, I guess. I have another channel. It's just my name. I used to upload beauty videos on it, just regular beauty videos, before I started my ASMR channel. And it just wasn't going anywhere. And then I had a terrible bout of body dysmorphia, basically, where I couldn't look at myself. I was in a rough place, so I stopped making videos over there. I was still making ASMR, but I can't even go and look at the thumbnails from that period of time. I don't want to talk about it, but basically I did have another YouTube channel, and I'm potentially thinking about kind of bringing it back and changing it up a bit, just for fun. But I don't know if I'll ever do that, because it could just be like a bunch of work for not a lot of reward. I don't know though. The next question says, how did you get rid of your shyness? I got rid of my shyness by working retail for 3 years. That's basically it. People are ruthless, and I started to realize that they're gonna say whatever they want to you. They don't care. So you can say whatever you want, and obviously not whatever you want. Like, I'm not mean, but yeah. It was definitely just like people. I realized that other people just didn't give a care. They'll say the rudest things and do the most ridiculous things. Yeah, basically I just got a job in retail, and the rest was history. No more shyness. I still am like anxious in public about certain things, but I definitely grew. And if you are having some trouble and you're like a little younger and you kind of like a retail job would make sense for you at this time, it's not like you have like a different career or anything like that, I definitely recommend, just because your people skills and your conflict, what is it called? Conflict management, conflict de-escalation, whatever it's called. Those skills are gonna go from down here to way up here. Like, so, yeah. The next question says, why do you use multiple blankets to sleep? I don't remember mentioning this, but I probably have. I do sleep with like 5 blankets every single night, and it's just, I'm just like really anxious at night. It's worse. So, I like to feel like pressure. I do have a weighted blanket that helps, but sometimes it's too heavy. So I like feeling like there's pressure on me what's your favorite word? My favorite word, if I had to like pick any word in the English language, it's actually regain. And it's just a word. Actually, have like my Instagram is that, and my makeup page, like my makeup Instagram and my makeup channel, like my YouTube channel used to be that. And it's kind of just like a really long story, but basically it's like close to my name, but it also has meant